Hello, everybody. Welcome to our presentation about empowering your way to the top and unlocking your full career potential. This session will be held by me and my esteemed colleague, Manisha Timothy, who is an award-winning coach and public speaker, as well as psychologist.
Yeah, thank you, Amy. And let me introduce my colleague today who's joining us from Warsaw, Poland today, Amy Sinton, who's also a multiple award winner coach. She's a personal and business coach, and I'm extremely delighted to be having her over today for the webinar.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So here's a short overview of what we will be presenting. We want for everybody to have maximum support from us in understanding what needs to be done in order to maximize results, how to cultivate determination, how to change the spheres that need to be changed in order to develop your career. So just to be sure, this is not going to be any advice, and everybody is fully responsible for anything that they learn during the presentation. And so let's begin. We will be offering incredible value today because we will be giving a gift at the end for all of the viewers. And we want to support you all in making your life better. We want to have you embark on this journey for positive transformation in your life and how to work on your goals for your career. So do please stay tuned until the end and you will find out what awesome gift you will be getting today. So as an introduction, why career improvement matters. In this fast-paced world, it is super important to stay competitive in the job market. By continuously improving your skills and expertise, you can increase your value as an employee and open up even more new opportunities for advancement. Additionally, career improvement can lead to greater job satisfaction and a sense of fulfillment in your work. And as a coach, I have noticed that many times when people have an alignment between what their passion is and what their work is, their career is, then they feel much more fulfillment. And we will also be talking about this further on. What are the most common challenges that people face in career growth? So the growth of a career has its own set of challenges. One of the most common challenges people are facing in their career growth today is a lack of clarity about their career goals. Many individuals struggle to identify what they truly want to achieve in their careers, which makes it difficult for them to develop a plan how to reach those goals. And this often leads to a feeling of stagnation and frustration. Another challenge people face in career growth is lack of opportunities for advancement. Even when individuals have a clear understanding of their career goals, they may find themselves stuck in positions that do not offer room for growth. This can be due to factors such as organizational structure, limited resources, or competition from other employees. The other things that often present themselves are self-doubt, imposter syndrome, change in industry, lack of time elasticity, fear, financial obligations, uncertainty about goals, and burnout. Some of the common struggles continuing are fear of failure. This is one of the most common fears that people face when it comes to career. People tend to get very comfortable with what they know. They don't often try to go into risky new paths in terms of their career, which is why fear of the unknown may be one of the biggest and main struggles that people face. As well as change with their financial structure and responsibilities might make people stop and not want to make a change. Burnout. When people have worked at the same job for a long time and lack work-life balance as well as are not aligned with their passion, they can start to feel miserable and tired with what they're doing. It is important to stop then and to understand why this burnout is happening, what can be done to change, and overcoming this moment of stagnation. Self-doubt. When people lack belief in their capabilities and are not fully aware of their strengths and don't feel confident or experienced enough, they can limit themselves in their personal lives and career. And one of the most common types of self-doubt is imposter syndrome. This is a case in which an individual discredits their hard work and feels like they are not worthy of being called a professional in the field in which they are working and developing a career in, even though they are high performing. And they can often feel like a fraud. I've met many successful people that have imposter syndrome. Many people do not feel like what they're doing is enough for them to believe that they are worthy of being called a professional, which is why it is very important to overcome such syndrome and to be able to continue thriving in the career that you wish. Having a resilient mindset. Now, we all know that having a resilient mindset will sometimes make or break your career. Having the ability to move forward after a situation in which there has been a non-desirable outcome for the person involved. Everybody faces undesirable situations. Everybody faces difficulties and challenges. And having a resilient mindset is key if you want to make success for yourself in the long run. Learning the necessary lessons from it, adapting to new situation, changing behavior in such a way that it will be appropriate to what is being faced now and going along with what is happening now. Being ready for some areas of the unknown. So as I have said before, many people are afraid of the change in terms of finance, in terms of routine, habits, daily structures. And so being ready for some of the areas of unknown will support having a resilient mindset. Of course, it is necessary to have some things that are sure, but it is okay to not know everything, especially in the beginning. And it's important to be open to learn new things. Being determined, working with others, and having a precise yet positive way of looking at things is very important. And how do we develop a resilient mindset? It is important to be mindful and aware of what is going on, being on top of what is happening as a situation unfolds. After the initial situation happens in which there has been an undesired result, and we all know what kind of a situation that can be in our lives, then it's important to take some time to think about why it happened, what led to it, and what can be learned from it. One of the key things is to think what can be learned from it, both the good and the bad, in order to go forward in a positive manner. Thinking about how to increase the probability of such an undesirable outcome being avoided in the future, if it is possible. Deciding what you want for your next steps to be, and determining if you want to try to keep going for the same goal, but for example, in a different way of doing so, or deciding that it is not for you and pursuing something different. So practicing self-awareness, understanding of the situation, and learning from the mistakes is vital in such a situation. Staying motivated is very important also, and being mindful of how you stay motivated in order to accomplish your goal. Many people will have an incredible vision, they'll have an incredible goal, but if they do not stay motivated on the daily, then it's easy to lose focus and get off track. So staying motivated, staying focused is of utmost importance. Finding inner motivation. If something is important to you, keeping that vision in mind should give you motivation to a large extent. But it is also important to be aware of how you stay focused and determined to accomplish your goal and to do more activities that will bring you closer to this goal. And this will also give you more motivation in the process of it. Understanding that great things take time. So many people will have a goal and compare themselves to others. They don't see all the hardships that others are facing, and they will think that everybody has it much easier than them, that everybody is very quick to get from start to finish. But the truth of the matter is that all great things do take time, do take overcoming challenges and having this inner motivation to keep going. So taking things step by step and acknowledging what you have done, and possibly even rewarding yourself for the hard work that you have done. Many times during coaching sessions, I will ask people, how are they going to reward themselves for achieving their goal? As I know that this is a very big motivation factor for people when they do acknowledge all the hardships that they're going through. This is of utmost importance to stay motivated and accountable for yourself, as well as focusing on how you wish to accomplish your goals and keep your energy levels high enough to keep going all the way. If you do find yourself lacking motivation, which is perfectly normal and everybody has this kind of a scenario once in a while, do remind yourself about why this goal is important to you. Why did you start doing this? Why was this a goal in the start? Remind yourself of both the consequences of accomplishing your goal as well as if you were not to accomplish your goal. Most often, even just asking yourself, what would happen if you were not to accomplish your goal, will get you straight on track and back to motivation. Ways to motivate yourself in the workspace. Surround yourself with positivity. Have a coach and a mentor, and have somebody that inspires you. Well, many people may ask, why should I have a coach or a mentor? It's an extra cost. I can just read self-help books. I can just speak with a friend. I can ask for advice. I can Google something. And one of the biggest pluses of having a coach or a mentor is somebody will be there with you, motivating you, and they will also be keeping you accountable, because many people will find that when they tell somebody that they're going to do something, they will even just feel silly if they don't go through with what they planned. So when you have regular meetings with a coach, you will feel this motivation to make what you said happen, and it will really inspire you and motivate you to keep going. Set measurable goals that are aligned with your interests and objectives. So what is a measurable goal? It is something by which you can say when it will be done, approximately, what the determining factors will be to say that you have accomplished this goal. Because if you're going to say that you want to do something very broadly, and don't have any of these measurable ways of telling how you're progressing, then you will not only be demotivated because you will not be able to state that there is progress, but it will also be too wishy-washy, probably, in the long run. So change your perspective from hard work to manageable and just take it step by step. As I've said, great things take time. So focusing on the process rather than just focusing on the goal, but having it in mind is important, and just take things step by step. Take time to relax away from work. We all know people that are such determined go-getters that there are motivation just to all of us when we watch them work. But if you do not take time to relax, you will not have the fuel and energy to keep going. So this is super important in order to avoid burnout and making any kind of mistakes due to lack of health and clear mind. Celebrate what you have achieved for greater inner motivation. By celebrating the small steps, and I don't mean by some huge celebrations, it can be something that you enjoy doing or that you haven't done it in a while, just to be able to recognize that you have made progress will be enough for motivation. Overcome negative talk. Now, this is a big one. Many people face naysayers and negativity in their life, especially once they state that they want to accomplish something. So how do we deal with this? Learning to say no to negative talk. Whether it's your family, your friends, your coworkers, or anybody else, it is important to know where to set the boundaries and how to say no to negative talk so it stops affecting your way of thinking to the point where you'll become stagnant and avoid accomplishing your goal all in all. It is important also to keep in mind that there can be constructive feedback, so blocking off what others are saying altogether is also not a great idea. But when you have determined that something is simply non-productive to you and is bringing you down, then here's what we can do. People will often have a lot to say about a situation, about people, and various topics. Everyone has their own opinion, and not everybody is vocal about it, but some people are. Some people are right, some people may be wrong, and then some people may have just a very different perspective and understanding of a certain situation. Some people feel like it is their place to say something, even if it isn't necessarily the case. Being aware of the fact that not everybody is saying things because of what you are doing is important, and that will allow you to be more in control of your own emotions. Many people are saying things because it is a reflection of where they are at, not necessarily because of what you are doing. So many people will say their opinion of what is going on in your life, just looking from their perspective and how they would manage that situation in the time being. They don't fully understand other people's circumstances sometimes. So understanding that not everything requires a response is important. It is very important to be open to constructive criticism, as I've said, but also being aware that negative talk is simply that, and just there to make you feel worse and tear you down sometimes. Be compassionate towards yourself. Be aware of the environment that you create and spend time in, as well as the people that you put time into being around. It is necessary to see a coach, a psychologist, therapist, or professional sometimes in certain situations. So it is very important to be mindful of who you surround yourself with. And our environment also fuels our mind, and what our fueled mind gets is what it will work with. So do keep that in mind. To be able to do that, you need to know yourself well, understand your values and the motives behind why you're doing something. So if you understand that your values are completely different to another person that is a naysayer, it may help you and support you in understanding their perspective of why they're saying this, because they may have completely different values than you. This will give you a good foundation for dealing with tasks while having others comment on your behavior. If you can really be aware of yourself and know that what you're doing is really right and being done in the right way, you will probably find it easier to be slightly or much less sensitive to what others are saying or thinking negatively about what you are doing. The more assertive that you become, the truly confident and aware of yourself and what you are working on generally takes time, but it is possible and worth spending time on improving. What can negative talk lead to? It's easy just to say, just brush things off, but negative talk can really influence people to various degrees. So negative talk influences everyone to some degree. How we deal with those thoughts, how we decide to perceive them, is of utmost importance. Perspective of what is being said, we can change our whole approach to what is being said. It is important to create boundaries and distance ourselves from overly negative, unconstructive situations and people. Negative talk can have detrimental effects on an individual's mental and emotional well-being. It can lead to feelings of worthlessness, anxiety, and depression. Negative self-talk can also affect one's physical health by increasing stress levels and weakening the immune system. So negative talk can affect us to the core. It is very important to be aware of how you're dealing with it, how you're managing it. Furthermore, negative talk can impact relationships with others. Constant criticism and negativity can push people away and create a toxic environment. It can also lead to a lack of trust and communication, making it difficult to form meaningful connections. In order to have greater self-confidence and worry less about the negative talk, it is important to know your personal strengths. So, although the people themselves may not be bad, sometimes the influence that they have on our lives is near to a parasite sucking the energy out of a person, or a weed sucking out the energy out of a plant. And as you may have noticed, it does not bring good outcome. And so dealing with this, facing the fear, is super important. And now Manisha will continue with speaking on ways of maximizing your career and overcoming challenges.
Yeah, thank you, Amy, and thank you for such wonderful insights which you just shared. So, I'm going to talk about the ways to maximize your career and overcome challenges. So, the normal challenges which we come across as coaches generally, when there's a career coaching and when you're struggling at work. So, what kind of challenges come through? And this is obviously a generic view of the challenges which come, and people could have, more challenges. So, in general, what are the common challenges? That is what we're going to discuss now. Next slide, please. Amy. So, first is knowing your personal strengths. So, everyone, first of all, I'll say that everyone has a personal strength. So, when you might be working in certain area, like you're in a marketing division, or you're in an admin division, you're in sales, or you're in banking, but that is the work you do. Apart from the work you do, you might have your own innate personal strengths. And the essential part here is to know that strength and have that kind of self discovery, that what is the strength you have, which gives you an edge over other people. And it can involve your unique talents, skills, abilities that make you stand out from others. So important part is that you kind of try to understand what is that thing that pulls you apart from everyone else at work. It can be, so it doesn't have to be really big. It can be as simple as that you are good at Excel and you help your team members around you, whoever is struggling with that, and you help them with that. So use it as your strength. Go to your manager and say, oh, I'm good in Excel, is it fine if I give my team members some training on a certain day for some time? And so initially you might start off doing it for free, but gradually you will be noticed by your managers, other people in the management, and they might give you a very good opportunity on that. So working on your strengths can be valuable in a lot of ways. uh, yeah, and also you can take feedback from other people that what am I good in, because sometimes you don't know your strengths, other people would be able to tell you. So go and ask them, what do you feel is my strength? Take some personality test, like with some coach or a mentor or anyone or anything online if you find. So that kind of gives you, what are you good in? Are you good in the social side, or are you more creative? So do that and you will definitely come to know about your strengths. Also, if you want to, like previously said by Amy, also if you want to hire a coach or mentor, that will also gain you more insight into your strengths. Next slide, please. The other thing which is important is developing your skills and expertise. So one thing which is for sure is learning never stops, and no matter how much you rise in your career, learning is something you should keep on doing, because that leads to your further growth and success. Also for learning and being up to date, so these days the trends, industry trends, they change overnight. So today we are working on something and tomorrow it suddenly changed. Today we are on Twitter and next day Threads has come in. So that would be another social media platform, which if you are in the advertising side of your business, you would have to do there. You would have to, so keep your track on that. And also acquire new skills, and some of the skills in terms of having new training, or networking with people, that will help you. And also, I would like to tell in this that for learning, it also doesn't mean that, always you have to go for a course which is paid and expensive. There are a lot of free courses. So look out for those courses in your particular field, and which will develop your skill and expertise. Again, mentorship from your professionals, especially from the work area where you're working. Ask your seniors, but they might be good mentors for you. Ask them for their advice, and more often people like that kind of a thing, when you ask them that, can you be my mentor, they generally like it. And they might, because in experience, they might be better than you. So you might get some insight from them. So don't, kind of go back on that thing that, I can't ask anyone. So do that. And that also, helps you in having more expertise on your field, which you are currently at. Also, networking with other industry leaders, like outside your industry or outside your organization, helps in that. Next slide. Then building your professional network. And this is also very important because for your career growth and success, because it not only provides access to your job opportunities and industry insights, but it also allows individuals to connect with like-minded professionals. One way of doing is attending industry events and conferences which happen in your area, because these events, they provide opportunity to meet new people, learn about the latest trends, which we just spoke about in the previous slide, and also the new developments which is happening. Another way to build it is to join a professional organization. So when we say professional organization, these are those organizations which are specific to your profession. Like for lawyers, they have a bar association. For coaches like us, we have a international coaching federation wherein we are all part of. Then also for chartered accountants, like they have a association of chartered accountants. So look for those professional organization wherein you can enroll, because they organize a lot of networking events which are usually free, and also they provide a lot of free resources on education and new opportunities, and also new job prospects which can come in. So that's a good way to build your professional network. Next slide. Then another thing is to maximize your opportunities. Now, how do we do that? We all know that we need to be growing and maximizing. So one way of doing it is volunteering for new projects. So in that, that project can be a small project wherein your company, or something which is a non-profit project, you can just volunteer for that. And when you do that and you lead some project, that kind of brings visibility to you. You are there, you're doing something out of your comfort zone, and it is very, very beneficial as a career professional. Also, mentoring junior colleagues, mentor them, for free, and ask them if they need your help. It has a really long lasting effects on other people, on your senior management, because you are not invisible when you do this. When you do this, you are seen by a lot of people. They might not come and, always give a pat on your back, but your visibility is there. So try working on that visibility, and that will maximize your opportunities in your firm or in your career. Also, it is important to be proactive in seeking out these opportunities. Now, as I said, don't wait for them to come. Actively seek out, and whatever you can do, just volunteer for them immediately if you are able to do it apart from your work, which you're already doing. Also, this includes like attending industry events, participating in training programs, seeking out mentorship. Now, as you're participating in the webinar today, so you saw this opportunity and you are, gaining some insight. So look out for more opportunities like this, and that definitely helps you in your career advancement. Next slide, please. So identifying your goals and objectives. More often, when I get my clients, who have some challenges regarding to career, and I ask them, what is your goal and objectives? Where do you want to go? So they do not have a clear objective. And the usual replies are, oh, I want to become a manager, but right now I'm a supervisor. I don't know when. So there's no clarity. It can't be a very unclear thing. It can't be a generic thing. You have to have clear objectives, what you want to do, when you want to do, and what timeline you want to achieve that. Because it is easy to get lost in your day-to-day tasks, because you're so busy with your work that you just keep it aside that, oh yeah, I want to become a manager, but let's see when I become, whenever I have time to work on that goal. No, it has to be really, really clear. Also, one way of identifying your goals and objectives is to start reflecting on your values and what's important to you. Now, when we talk about values, it is everyone has a personal value, and sometimes the work you do or the business you choose, it might not align with your values. And if it is not aligning with your values, you might start off with it, but eventually you're going to not like it, you're going to have dissatisfaction, and you're not going to work that well. So always try to reflect on what your values are, and is this job or is this profession or is this business aligning with my values? Because you can't have a short term goal with the career. You need to have a long term goal, and it has to align with your values. Also, when we say think about where you want to be in 5 or 10 years, I would say, like, instead of seeing such a long term, you can also see a short term goal. Like, where do you want to see yourself in 1 year? Also, we do a very good exercise on timeline. So when we do that as coaches, we actually tell our client, where are you? So we take them ahead in the date. So after 6 months, so I will say that, okay, in December, after four months, in December, 5 months, where are you right now? So the client starts visualizing the whole thing, and, oh yeah, I'm here, I wanted to finish this course in 4 months, I've already finished it. So kind of make the timeline and visit that timeline ahead in time, and where you are you happy with that thing, are you not happy with that thing? So making those short-term timelines really work, and try to probably do it with a coach or any mentor, because they might guide you really well. But make short-term goals, like for a month. After 1 month, what do you want? What do I want to achieve? I want to be an employee of the month in 2 months. So those are like short-term goals. So start working on short-term timelines, and then go ahead on 5 year or 10 years. Also, prioritizing your goals based on their importance and feasibility. So when we talk about feasibility, it is, in respect to, you cannot have unachievable goals. Like, if you say, you just started in an entry level position, and now you say in 1 year, I want to be a CEO of this company, that is just not possible and not feasible. So work on that. Also make feasible goals, because if you make unrealistic goals, you will end into not liking it, not achieving it, and that can lead into other kinds of things like dissatisfaction and depression in some cases. So break them down in smaller and actionable goals. Next slide. Then being decisive. No, decision is a very, very important part of everyone's life, making decisions, whether it's personal or professional. And some decisions need to be taken in a faster pace, because you have to immediately take a decision. But some you want to give that decision more time. So either ways, you need to understand which are the decisions that needs my immediate attention, and what are the decisions that can wait a bit, and that needs insight in what I have to do. So in order to decide what is of utmost importance, you must understand what each way brings with it, in terms of results, the actual process, probable statistics of outcome and processes, possible obstacles, and pros and cons of both situations. Make sure that your assumptions are correct, and not just naively fall into what appears to be certain way. Now, it's good to, when you are in a two-way thing, that whether I should do this or to do that, you're in two-way thing, it's good to write down. A good exercise is to write down both the options which you have, and instead of writing pros and cons, which yes we do in most of the cases, you can like go about saying that what is the good thing that comes out of this decision. So if you go on that, like, if I want to become a doctor. So what is a good thing out of becoming a doctor? So I will help people. What is the good thing coming out of helping people? I that aligns with my values. So when you write them down, both the if you are in decision wherein you have two options, so write both the options and try to see the good thing in both the options, and then decide where what you want to do and what you want to achieve out of both of them and which decision needs to be taken. Also, understanding that we all take risks while making decisions is important. We usually almost never know that the outcome will be for sure, or at least how and when it exactly happens. So being okay with not knowing everything and possibly making certain errors will make you a might greater decision maker and leader as well. So all our decisions are not right, they are not correct. You will have, bad decisions, and which is okay, because as coaches we see it as your learning path. If that decision has gone wrong, don't just be scared of taking a decision next time. So be take it as a learning thing. Oh yeah, I did wrong in that decision, this is why it went wrong. So, and what things can I do to improve next time when I take a similar decision? So don't be scared of taking risk. Take that risk of taking a decision and try to change it into a learning phase if it goes bad. Next slide. Then next is self-esteem. So it is very, very important to have your self-esteem in achieving your goals. So when you have high self-esteem, you are more likely to believe in yourself and your abilities. This belief can give you the confidence you need to take risks, try new things, and push through challenges. On the other hand, low esteem can hold you back and in pursuing your goals. It can cause you to doubt yourself and also lead to fear, anxiety, and inaction towards achieving your goals. One of the good exercise to do if you are lacking in having self-esteem is, which has worked with most of my clients I've worked with, is early morning, when you get up and you are getting ready to go to your workplace, stand in front of the mirror and say like nice things about you. I am confident, I am good, I am going to achieve this goal. So when you do that for 2-3 minutes, that kind of practicing that every day builds in very strong self-esteem. So try working on that. Also, as we've already said it, that set realistic goals. Also celebrate your successes along the way. So what you can do is you can celebrate small successes. Okay, you've probably not achieved your main goal is to become a manager, but in between, even if you're the most punctual employee or the most hardworking employee, celebrate that successes, because that is your path to your actual success. So celebrating can boost your confidence and then create a positive cycle of achievement and self-esteem. Next slide, please. Then cultivate determination. So as we all know that determination is the key trait that separates successful people from those who struggle to achieve their goals. There's a very famous quote which says that successful people don't do different things. They just do things differently. And that is where this thing also comes in, that, you need, how do you do that determination? What can you do to keep being determined in your paths to achieve your goals? First important is to identify your purpose and set specific measurable goals. This creates a clear path forward and helps you to stay focused on what truly matters. Another way to cultivate determination is to develop a growth mindset rather than seeing setbacks as failures. So if we talk, I want to talk a little more about the growth mindset. Now, people with growth mindset views intelligence, abilities, and talents as learnable and capable of improvement through their efforts. On the other hand, someone with fixed mindset views those same traits as inherently stable and unchangeable over time. So try to have that growth mindset, keep growing in that, and don't bring that stagnation in your life, because that would not lead to your ultimate goals which you have to achieve. Next slide. So next is prioritizing correctly. changes everything. So you need to learn how to prioritize your things, and that makes a lot of difference in achieving your success. So it's not just about being busy, but about being productive and efficient with your work. By properly prioritizing tasks, you can ensure that you are focusing on what truly matters and working towards your goal. Moreover, prioritizing can also help reduce stress levels and prevent burnout. When you have a clear understanding of what needs to be done, when, and you can approach each task with a calm, focused mind rather than, being overwhelmed with the endless to-do list. So also another important point to keep in this is that how do you prioritize, and where are the times wherein something else needs to be on priority than what you're actually doing. So if you are aiming of working, suppose 12 hours a day and getting to the point of getting your next promotion, but in between your health is getting affected by it and you're not able to work, so that time the priority has to be changed from being working to taking care of your health. So just don't keep on prioritizing things just because you feel that, oh, if I don't do it I'll miss out. Also see that what needs importance in that particular moment, whether it's work, your personal life, or even in work you have two three things. So what needs your attention prior to other things. Next slide, please. Now, how to prioritize. This is also important in understanding what the goal really means to you and can help you in knowing what you really need to do in order to get that goal accomplished. That way, once you create a list of things that are of utmost importance, you can start planning and deciding what is more significant to you. And as we said before, that it always doesn't mean that if you do things in a certain way versus another way that you won't get the same result. Sometimes it can, and other times it might not be. But just changing the way you do things can help sometimes in achieving your goals as well. And also prioritizing needs to be done in full awareness of time and deadlines in terms of what needs to be done, in what order, and understanding what are the possible consequences of completing each task on the way they are, and also the consequences of what will happen if you don't do that work. So you're doing something, and in case you don't meet the deadline, what is the possible repercussion that your manager can put on you if you don't. So keep in mind all those things. Also figure out what is the most importance in the present moment and scheduling the next task and being open to being flexible and when it comes to change. So sometimes there can be unforeseen circumstances, like there can be some logistics changes, ad hoc meetings, or your personal emergencies, some medical issue or family emergencies which can come in the way. So also keep in mind those things, that if that comes, so how I'm going to work out with my uh, set goals. So those are some of the key points in figuring out how to prioritize tasks. Next slide, please. So now we've come to the end, and in the end, I would like to say that we have discussed the importance of career improvement and how it can benefit individuals in both personal and professional. We've also explored many strategies to identify goals and objectives, developing skills and expertise, building a professional network, and also how to maximize those opportunities. Now it's time to take action towards your own career improvement goals. Remember to set clear objectives, continuously learn and develop new skills, expand your professional network, and seize every opportunity that comes your way. By following these steps, you will be well on your way to achieving your career goals and also living a successful and fulfilling life. Next slide. So how does career development and what you want to achieve, how does coaching help you in that? So as Amy and I, we do a lot of career coaching, and Amy has been doing business coaching as well for a long time. So coaching is a powerful tool that can help individuals, and in order to achieve your goals to your full potential. So most of the time, we get the remark as in, oh, why do I need a coach? I can do everything on my own. Yes, you can do everything on your own, but sometimes you're so overwhelmed by your work or other things, other aspects of your life that you can't think through properly. And a lot of workload, a lot of burnouts which happen, it doesn't help you in thinking of new ideas, doing new things. So when you hire a coach, so a coach doesn't tell you what to do. A coach is your thinking partner. The coach is, the coach is only going to direct you how to put the right key to the right lock. So you have all the keys with you, you have multiple locks, but you're not able to unlock each of them. So there that is where a coach comes in, and the coach will take you through that journey, help you unlock all your locks, and lead to a very fulfilling personal as well as professional life. Next slide, please. So as Amy had discussed before, that we have a gift today, so free gift. So the free gift would be with any of you, if you book 4 coaching sessions, you'll get one extra for free. Also, I do online and in person as well, and everyone who's based out of Dubai can book an in-person session with me, and otherwise me and Amy, we are doing online sessions across the globe, whoever wants to book a session.
I am doing sessions online also and in Poland, stationary.
And also, like Amy, would you like to speak on this slide?
Sure. So the reasons for which you're going to get the best from a coaching program is you will get the value for an incredible transformation that our coaching programs can give for you. It's a proven system in order to achieve your goals. Because as we have said, having an accountability partner, somebody that will motivate you, be there with you, will enhance the process and will support you in achieving your goals. You will then progress in getting the results after each and every coaching session. So when you come to a coaching session with a topic, during that session, you do achieve the outcome of that session. So there is progress after every session. Development towards incredible improvement. And it's just to have a think about, what do you really want to achieve with your work? You can have a think about this and think if coaching is something for you. So now we have time for questions and answers. If there's anybody that would like